What, no intro?
Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome back once again to the Fireside Chat with the boys. The guys are all here. Everybody's ready to rock and roll. Hey, I wanted to say special thanks to, right now anyway, to Bob and Ty for joining the HDR membership. Membership gives you a long list of great stuff, with all the swag coming out to you. You get free motorcycle tires for life. No, maybe you don't.
I was first, just to point that out.
You was.
Is that a dig at me because I haven't joined yet?
But Ty was the first for me. So yeah, Colin, basically, it's okay, man. Don't worry about us. We'll be fine.
But I want to be big and green.
Yeah, but you're not getting any perks now.
And listen, Ty, and let me tell you guys, Ty actually did it during this live stream, so you can join the membership as we're talking right now. Don't hold back. Join today. I mean, there's already a great blooper video up there. Bob called me. He was hysterical this morning, laughing his ass off, just chuckling all the way through that video. It's a good one. And Mrs. HDR is about 90% of it.
Hey, by the way, the first month of being your member, that video with Mrs. HDR kind of uncut was worth it all, dude.
See that?
Really
and also, you'll notice membership has its privileges. There's no commercials on the videos.
Ooh.
So, hey. Anyway, guys, tonight we have a special treat for you here. But we're gonna go around the board. If you don't know these people, if you are a content creator, I put it out on Instagram today for all content creators. So, Itchy Boots, if you're here, you're going to get some lessons today in how to grow your channel. That's what we're talking about. That's why we didn't want to bring a guest in today, because the guest would kind of take it another way. So, go ahead, Bob, take it away. Introduce yourself and say hello.
By the way, did you notice I have my hat on the right way, Jack?
Oh, see then, finally.
Thank you, Colin. That's good. Yeah, but dude, you got to get the one that doesn't have the hole in the back. You got to get the full, because you got your 7 hairs poking out the top. So
like that.
Yeah, that's better.
There you go.
You're cute, man. I got to tell you.
Better?
Not really. I am Bob. Go by Bodine. I think everybody here knows all of us, but hope everybody got out to ride. I think everybody knows what I ride, so I was able to get both my bikes out this weekend so far, and it's amazing your attitude changes when you get out and ride.
It absolutely does. And what a beautiful day to ride, everybody. My name is Colin. I think everybody knows me too. Glad to be here this fine Sunday evening. It's still like, what time is it getting dark by you guys? About 8 o'clock, 9?
Or later?
Later.
It's so damn cool. I love it this time of year, man. Like, we can get off this show and like, all right, we're going riding.
Well, and Colin, since you're so good at it, usually when Bob calls you out, go ahead and say hello to everybody in the chat room.
Oh, I get that special.
See who's in there.
All right, so let me start up because I wasn't planning for this. WS Keys on 3. Bri the biker, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you again. I ran into Bri last weekend. Had a great time in meeting that man. He's a great guy. Road Glide Andy, how are you tonight? Joe Carvalho, did I spell that right? Carlahu? Hopefully. Blue Bike Girl, how are you? Ty from Tennessee, who's now officially in green. Toby, how are you tonight? And who else do we have? HD AV Traveler, and you're on all these shows, man, and we truly appreciate you. You're on week in, week out, as a lot of these folks are, and we appreciate you. Anybody else? Did I miss? Jim Reynolds, how are you tonight? Get Her Done, great YouTube name. Donna Maine, not Donna, Jack. You'll get it right one of these days. Donna.
What is it? Donna.
Donna. I hope now watch him correct me.
Shouldn't we get that right, dude? Haven't we?
He's been on
for like 2 years. Can you come to the meet and greet that Jack's going to talk about just so we can get that nailed down?
Yeah, make sure you have tape with your name on your shirt. So we know who you are.
Paul, welcome aboard too. Paul Beardsley, great. Doug Longval and Goofy Bastard, another great YouTube name. Welcome aboard, everybody. We appreciate you guys joining us this Sunday night. There you go, Jack.
All right. So tonight I already talked to these two guys. We sent their questions, not really questions as much as topics, out to them earlier this week. And good evening also to Chuck. I'm riding, but I can listen. That's awesome, man. You're riding, you're listening into the show. That's
It's like a podcast.
Yeah, you can't beat that, huh? That's pretty cool. That's dedication, guys, for sure. So what we wanted to talk about tonight a little bit was these two guys are the masters of YouTube. They have created YouTube channels, and their growth and their viewership blows me away week to week to week. It's like you post a video. I told Bob one time, I said, Bob, post a video of your dog taking a crap in the backyard and watch it go viral, just because the way he can present it. And I think these guys are masters at what they do. I can't hold a candle to them, to tell you the truth. I can produce a video and I think it's going to be a hit. And, you know, it's a one view wonder. Remember the one hit wonders. So we're going to talk to them a little bit, kind of let them carry the show tonight. I'm just going to sit back and kind of drive the bus here. So the first thing, guys, and remember, it's kind of a round robin thing. We want to talk about this. So both of you guys will be chiming into it. Aside from hitting 1,000 subs and 4,000 hours of watch time, okay, that's what you have to get before you become monetized, okay, before you make all those millions of dollars. What should a YouTube channel, or when should a YouTube channel monetize? So let's say with this, even I have 5,000 subs. Like Rogue Gladiator said, I'm never going to monetize ever. He has 20,000 subs. Harley is sending him new motorcycles to try out. And he's like, I don't want no money from my people. So what's the benefits and when should that happen? Either one of you can take it first. I don't want to choose anybody, so we can let you choose among yourselves.
First of all, you said that with like a straight face that Andy has 20,000 subs. Is it just naturally like that? Maybe we should be asking you these questions.
Yes, naturally he has. When he hits 20,000 subs and he's not monetized, yeah, Harley's gonna call and be like, "Hey, dude, would you try out a couple of our bikes?" So take it away.
Kyle, you want to go?
Sure, I'll go first this time, then you next time. How's that?
Sounds good.
In my mind, as soon as you get to 1,000 and 4,000, if you're going to monetize, you should do it right away. And I say that not because of the money, because hopefully you'll be able to pay for 2 gallons of gas with it. I say it because you'll get past thinking about 1,000 subs and 4,000 hours. And you, at times, do things just to get there. And your life will change and you'll enjoy what you do on your channel a lot more once you're already there. Not because of the money, because it's out of your head, from my perspective.
So you think there's some deep psychological issue if you don't reach that 1,000?
Yeah, there was like, when I was in high school, there was a psych class and I spent like 5 minutes listening to one lecture and it was basically told me that.
So what you're saying, sit you on the couch.
Yes.
Talk about your childhood, Bob.
Dude.
So to answer, Jack, to answer your question, we'll go put the question back up again because obviously I wasn't paying attention.
And he can't remember shit too much.
No, I can't. I think my name's Bob. Aside from get that shit off. Aside from hitting 1,000 subs and when should a YouTube channel monetize? I mean, first now, correct me if I'm wrong, don't they put ads on all channels now, regardless of your status? If I'm not mistaken, because before they used to not do that. Before they wouldn't put ads, or you'd only get ads if you were monetized, but now you get people that are below that are still getting ads, but you're not getting paid for them. And as Bob said, this is a total hobby for all three of us. You're not going to make a lot of money off this. You're not. I mean, it's cool to have a couple extra dollars come your way to put in the bank or just whatever, get a couple gallons of gas, but it's not a ton of money. Now, if you're up there with a huge amount of subs and a huge amount of content, yes, there is money to be made. But honestly, most people fall into that niche, kind of like the three of us. You know, more of the masses, you're going to have maybe the top 5% of people that get to that level. But I don't know if you're asking me for an exact number. You know, you should monetize when you feel comfortable doing it. You get a lot of people that are totally anti commercials. And yeah, what's that thing called now? YouTube, where you can avoid the commercials?
YouTube Premium.
YouTube Premium, yeah. What did it used to be called? YouTube Red at one time, if I remember.
Yeah,
right.
and they used to have it cut with another thing. So YouTube Premium used to be $8.99. Then there was another part. Now they joined together, made it $15.99. So,
and see, here's the take, guys. How long, honestly, does it? I mean, I know are the little commercials annoying? Yeah, but how long does it take to watch? 10 seconds, right? Usually 10, 15 seconds. And you think about stuff. We watch television every day. We go through commercials. If we listen to the radio now, I mean, some radio stations, they have commercials. Kind of gotten used to it. I mean, obviously there's some streaming services where you don't have that. So, where I guess I'm going on a tangent here. What I don't like is, Bob, thank you, shaking your head. I guess where I don't like when I'm watching channels is when they have like all the mid rolls, where you could put in like 10 or 15 mid rolls, as much as you want to get the amount of commercials. Then you could tell they're just in it for the money. But most people just have one mid roll and then the one at the end and one at the beginning.
Hey, Jack, Toby had a real important question.
Yeah, I did see that. So what is everyone drinking tonight? Thanks, Toby.
The best beer on the planet. Of course.
Piss.
The best spring water on the planet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Leinenkugel Summer Ale.
Dude, either I've been drinking too much or that's like out of focus.
Yeah, because you got to hold it like here.
Oh, that's nice.
It's that autofocus camera. Hello.
My friend in Boston.
Thank you.
Did I ever tell you? I'm not. We knew we would get off topic on this show.
We normally do.
I went to that. That's probably one of my favorite breweries that I visited. It blew me away because when we were in college, this is the Coors Brewery, by the way, your piss beer, the Coors Light.
Yep.
I don't know if I ever shared this story with you guys, but when this was like during our college years, so one summer, a bunch of my friends that live out there, we went up to took a tour of the brewery, and they gave us these little questionnaire forms to fill out in the beginning. They asked you how much you drink, and of course we're in college, so what do you think we said? Oh yeah, 2 cases a week easily. And then they picked us, 5 of us, to go do taste testing after the brewery, after the tour that we did. And we ended up testing out before it ever came out. We were testing, and by the time we came out, we were like we were happy. I think we ended up having almost a 6-pack, and they gave you a cracker to clear your palate. So they give you a cracker, like, here, take a beer and then get a cracker. I mean, I didn't eat the crackers, kept drinking the beer. And at the end of the day, when we were done, we ended up testing Keystone and Keystone Light about a year before it came out. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that beer. It's about it tastes probably as good as Coors Light, which is horrible. So sorry.
It's like $12 a case.
It's like cheap super beer. And then they came out, and they never came out with it, but they were testing this beer, and it was comparable to Foster's. What was that big? Remember, was that Foster's can?
Oh yeah, I remember Foster's.
Remember that?
Yep.
And I can't remember the name of it, but it was a big ass freaking Foster's can of stuff they were going to try to roll out. But and one thing that blew me away, and I didn't even know this. I don't know if they still do this. This was, I think, in the early '90s when I went. In their break room, like on breaks, they were allowed to have beers. So like they could have like beer during their freaking work. So like you'd go in, they'd have actually like 4 or 5 kegs in the break room, and they said, "Oh yeah, that's allowed. They're allowed 2 beers per shift."
That should be in every business. And when I worked,
well, that seems illegal.
Yeah, when I worked at the marketing research firm, they actually, before I ever got there, they had beer and stuff in their fridge for people. But then as the company grew, they found that was probably a bad idea, so they got rid of it.
And Bob, I'm honestly, I just bust chops on this. I mean, Coors Light isn't bad. I just have fun with it.
I used to drink it all the time.
But like, it's the best. If you guys ever go to a brewery, that's actually the best time to have a beer, like at the end, because it's fresh, came right out of the tap. I mean, it was just made like a day before. It's awesome.
And it's natural spring water. I mean, it is. It's made by. That's why they put the brewery there.
And look. First of all, Dave Livingstone, you're like Colin. He says he sobers up by drinking Coors Light. That's just not right. Have you been watching? Have you been watching any of this Johnny Depp lawsuit thing?
Yeah, that's right by my house.
Dude, that is what's going to happen. I am going to sue you guys for how you're talking about the best beer on the planet. It's just not right.
But look, it'll be like TikToks and all that stuff of this.
Yeah. Dude,
and think about that. He's suing her for 50 million. She's suing him for 100 million. If both of them have that much resources, screw it. Get divorced and just go away from each other. You dumbasses.
Sorry, I didn't mean to get us off track here. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, like 20 minutes later, we're talking about Coors Light.
Hey, Jack, can I say one thing?
Yes.
I think, and I was going to say this before I get started, I think it's important for everybody to know as we're talking through this, and I know you got a lot of questions, so we want to go through them, is that it's just how we do it. We are all small YouTubers, right? There's, I know there's a Facebook group now that Toby's a part of that do a good job bringing people on. I know both of you guys have been on it, and I think that's good. Just remember, it's your style and take tidbits of what people do. If you get on and everybody's talking about, hey, here's how I wire my headset. I do this, I click this. Well, you know what? I use 2 devices, right? And it takes me 2 minutes. So it's just take stuff from what people say and apply it to your own. What we say doesn't mean it's right for you. It's just what works for us. There's a lot of how to do it right, and I don't think there's an easy answer to that. And I just want especially new YouTubers to not tune into 1 or 2 people and go, I'm going to follow them because they do it right. Watch a lot of people. And
yeah, I mean, there are some great channels out there. I mean, Bob, can you name a few? I know Think Media. There's several.
Think Media is good, right?
Daryl Eves.
Yeah.
vidIQ. All those folks that teach you how to do all this stuff a lot better than we can, give you tidbits. I think what Jack's trying to get at is a real person's reality from the 3 of us basically doing this and kind of what works for us. So good call out, Bob, on that.
Yeah.
Hey, and thanks for whoever told me, I can't see it now, who told me the curtain fell behind me. So I had to fix the window.
What's wrong with your curtain?
Well, because this is a blackout curtain for doing videos. So what happens is if it's open, it just blows the background out.
Yeah, I have one of those behind me too.
Is that right there annoying anybody? That little thing up here that's like
the glare?
The glare?
I switched those other 2 off because Colin, and this is how it works. Colin and I are talking about something, and we ended up talking about lights. Next thing I know, I'm ordering these damn lights for $120, and now they glare like crazy. I'm like, what am I doing here?
I'll help you fix it, young boy.
Thank you, honey.
Holy cow.
Yeah. A little glimpse into the Bronco ride in Bodine.
See that? Being a professional YouTuber, you have to spend a lot of money. These guys spend a lot of money.
No, you don't.
I once told Mrs. HR, I said, I can't be a YouTuber anymore. She said, I said, I don't have as much money to blow. I said, I just can't do it. Hey, good news, though. Talking about money and things, I was flying a drone today. I was filming Mrs. HR cutting the grass with the drone.
Did she approve of it is the question.
I have the video.
I put the drone up yesterday. It's going to be out in a video, and I had to stop because it was a lake, and there were just so many families and honestly so many kids out there that I flew it at like 300 feet, so you really couldn't see anybody purposefully, just because of let alone throwing it up there to put a video out of my wife. I just don't think that's right, but I won't tell her. I promise.
So you were having a drone on a kind of a beach by a lake?
It's a park that has a lake in it. So I threw it up, and then once it was up, I realized there's like families with little kids, and so I just decided to take it up real high so you couldn't.
Women in bikinis, nothing like that or anything. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Here's a good question for both you guys, since you know much more about this than I do. How long does a drone battery hold its charge? Like if you charge it and leave it in the case for 3 weeks, would you expect it to be still fully charged?
Okay. I thought you meant once it's in the air.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
In the air, I was getting about 10 minutes, maybe 5.
You get more than that.
Yeah. So I think because it sat for a while, and I don't know.
To answer your question, I mean, first in the air, it all depends on the drone, but most batteries probably 25 to 30 minutes.
Matt, depending what you're doing.
Depending on what you're doing with it.
Hey, Jack, can you highlight Robin? Because I think she's a great point. No, don't. I know it. Just put her up there. Leave it to our friend to call people out. I love it. It's like,
hey, Robin, if you watched all my videos, there's a YouTube video on my channel.
I knew this was coming.
Day Rider, and you can go back and you can watch it, Robin. And I know Australia TV is a little grainy and not as good as American TV or American YouTube, but you can check it out. And you might have to watch it backwards because I know you guys drive on the wrong side of the street. But check it out, and it'll tell you all about the drone. So let's just say I didn't buy it. And
hey, it's 6:20 a.m. She got up for this, so let's give her some credit.
That's right. It's 6:20. You're having your
drinking
coffee.
mimosas, buddy.
I'm not a peach at 6:20 in the morning, right? So
yeah, I mean, back to the question. I think if you with the my batteries, honestly, if I leave it in there for 3 weeks and then I pop it on, it's about 75%.
I agree.
So I top it off before I fly, and usually it takes about 15 minutes, but it does drain. It does definitely drain. It's not going to stay 100%.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I obviously, especially if you're filming, it's going to take more, right?
Yeah, when you're filming, it goes quick. I'm just talking about if your question was if you just leave it sitting, and I think that's what you asked. And then,
okay, yeah, the drain off.
And then it's probably going to drain about 25. If you're flying, it's anywhere. It depends on the drone. Depends on the drone and the battery. But its average is about 20 to 25.
I charged him to go to Erie 2 weeks ago, and we didn't use it. And I took it out today, and it's like, well, it didn't.
Yeah, you just got to charge it like.
We did pretty good for one question in 20 minutes, didn't we?
Yeah, we're not doing so hot, are we? Sorry, Jack. We're talking about.
Oh, wait, Robin, you're a very smart woman. I take everything back I said. I do have a VPN for some websites. That's smart because then you can be like you're in the U.S. I get that because I use VPNs and sometimes it's like I'm in another country.
Jack, I don't know about you, but I probably have 15 or 20 people that are from Australia that follow my channel. So I just wanted you guys to know if you're in here, I do not believe what Jack is saying about Australians.
Hey, you know what? Crocodile Dundee follows my channel. So,
no, I just watched that last week too.
Isn't that a good movie?
Yeah, I haven't watched that thing in when did that thing come out? With 90s, 80s?
80s.
Dude, are you that bored?
It was on the TV. I was like, I guess you're right. I was pretty bored.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen it in so long.
Call me. I'll talk you off the crocodile edge.
Thank you.
I wish I was more like Toby. I could keep the channel under order here. Toby is like this great moderator. He's like, let's move on, guys. Come on.
It's like
he was very very good the other night. He's like, okay, that's enough talking there, Jack, about RAM. Stop it. Let's move on, Okay, so what is the best way to get new content creators to know? And I just heard Moose say this the other day, what topic to use when creating content. And he said every topic has been pretty much overused and destroyed. So what is a good way for someone? If I'm looking to get out on my bike today, goes, man, I'm going to record a topic and I know this topic is hot. How do you guys research it, or do you research it, or do you just get on a bike and go, I'm going to talk about helmet cams today? Go ahead and start that up.
Here I go again, changing the subject. Did you guys know on the bottom of the Sam Adams cap, it says cheers?
Yeah, I did know that.
I never knew that. I was just looking at the bottle cap for some strange reason. And
you were really bored tonight, Colin. Come on, stick with it here.
Cheers, everybody. Hey,
you guys are like having my students back in class.
Come on, more you know.
A little too much in the sun today, Colin, by the pool.
Oh, dude, way too much sun today. I'm fried. That's my problem. Like exhausted.
Go ahead, Colin.
All right. What's the best way for new content creators and what topics? Jack, to your point, yeah, while most categories and topics have probably been covered, but they haven't been covered by you. So everybody has a different twist on things. And while a lot of topics can be redundant, it's all how you put it together. Honestly, most of mine are spontaneous. I think Bob and I are very similar with this. You kind of, and I get a lot of them like he does when writing, when things just pop in my head and start talking about it. There are times when I do a little research. I did a history of some bikes a while back. I did a little research, motorcycle helmet laws. I did a little research, but normally I just go with it and just start talking. But I don't know if there's.
Let's go back for one second. Here's what I mean by research. So did you research motorcycle helmets and say, hey, I see it's getting a lot of views on YouTube, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that topic.
No, I just found.
I know you researched to the laws because and I commented, dude. I don't know how you remembered all that. I mean, I would have had to script that somewhere and write it down.
Well, I have a good memory, so that helps. But when I read something, I'll retain it pretty well. But I had to read up on it because I didn't know all the states and their laws. But regardless, I think I I don't know. I think somebody was talking one day, and I remember a story about someone not wearing helmets. I was like, I wonder what the laws are in every state. And then I kind of went from there. And so a lot of times, and a lot of people do this. So like I'll have on my phone, like a note screen, like the notes.
Yeah.
And I'll pop in ideas. So because if something pops in your head and then I just put like a couple bullet points, hey, remember this, and it'd be a good future vlog or something, and just talk about it. Like I just went on a group ride last weekend up in New Jersey. My point, I could have easily put together a video of the whole entire event, but I figured all these other riders up there, these YouTubers, were doing the same thing. And I got an idea about what to do on group rides when you have close to 60 bikes and 70 people. So I just start talking about it and give my take on what I do.
Good.
And those are things. And I guarantee there's been 1,000 videos on group rides, right? I guarantee it. If you look it up, there's probably a shitload that all have that same topic: how to ride in group rides. It's just my spin on it, but it's usually just spontaneous. And then I just take it and run with it. Sometimes, guys, it could be a story. It could be a story about anything. Like Bob's video today was about acceptance of motorcycles, but honestly, majority of his video was talking about, you and I, Jack, and Pete's 1800, just about different bikes. But he just took a very simple topic and spent 15 minutes on it or whatever. I don't know how long your video was, Bob, but you just flowed with it. You just start talking and going with it. And that's probably the best way, is just have fun and just talk about a topic that you're comfortable with, and then go to town and just hit the record button. And then you can edit it later if you flub stuff up.
Jack, for your question, if it's new content creators, I think that some research is good. I will tell you, I hardly ever do any research. Maybe that's just because I'm a little wacko, right? Let me give you an example. So today I took out my Road King, and it was the first day I was out that I took off the windshield. And in my mind, I wanted to go out for a ride, and I'm like, I'm going to talk about the wind, right? And older motorcyclists that never used to use windshields. And that was in my great brain of what I was thinking about doing. I ended up talking about a little bit about the windshield, but more about how now I've decided that my Road King is my favorite bike. And I've always been on the fence about it. And I ended up talking about how much I really love the Road King. So then I stopped to have lunch, and don't tell Mrs. Bodine because she was at home. And I was sitting in the restaurant. I could see my bike outside. And as I was sitting there, I was kind of going, man, I love that bike. I wish people that had older bikes knew why they should buy one. And then the next thing I do, I walk across the street and I'm like, hey, let's talk about the top 5 reasons that you should buy an old Road King or an old bike. I think we get too whacked out about what's it going to be. I think your everyday life and things you see, you're going to see a video coming up. Or was that this morning where I almost ran over a chicken?
Chicken.
That
was today.
That was today, wasn't it?
Yeah. Would you go chicken?
I didn't realize a buddy of mine that I worked together in my last job is watching my YouTube channel, and he sends me a text, and it says, chicken, ? We need to talk, right? So I'm like, oh, shit. But I think don't get as whacked out about that. Let it come to you. I guess that's what I'm saying. It's not as easy. I get that for everybody, but things in life during the day, on the way to the gas station, the person that comes out of the gas station, Colin, you're right. I use notes all the time.
Yeah.
Everyday life, I think, just appeals to people. I know it appeals to me when I'm watching other people. So for what it's worth.
I think a couple people, you might want to highlight, Jack. I don't know if you did this already. You might have.
Yeah, I did.
Forgive me if you did. First Moose, I remember that, for your comments. So thank you. Goofy Bastard, I thought, he brought up a good point about it. Always doesn't have to be motorcycle related. If it's a motorcycle channel, you're probably not going to talk about like makeup though. I mean, if it's everyday life, yeah, for sure. And then something that relates back. Paul, I like put Paul's question up there, 627. Do you select topics by what will do good? This is a great question. Or is something you want to talk about? Bob?
Generally what I want to talk about, but I'll also, if I'm honest, if I have 2 or 3 videos that do okay, I'll go to what I know works, that I know will get 4,000 or 5,000 people, which is top 3 modifications to my road glide. It will. You can't keep doing that, but those just kill it. So if I have a couple videos in a row that are bad, I won't go. And I think it was Toby that mentioned there's a site that you can look at trends. I went in and looked at those at one point. I don't know, man. It just feels kind of.
It was manufactured.
It feels scripted. It feels fake. It feels. I think the reason I started watching YouTube and really watching HDR, to be honest, was the dude just talks about what's going on. Just talks about what's going on in his life. Just, and I never felt that he was setting me up. And I think it's storytelling, Colin. You mentioned it earlier. Tell a story. That usually works. So, at least for me.
It was funny, though, one day, and you guys talk a lot, we're getting to this about thumbnails and titles. And one day before I even set out to do the video, I already had the thumbnail in my head, what I was going to present to the YouTube people. Robin brought up a very, very good thing, and I see this happen to my channel all the time, and I just lost it. Where's it at? Here it is. She's given up determining what will go viral or what will do well because the damn YouTube algorithms will do whatever they want to do. And that's just simply the way it works. So
there's a bunch of people, Jack, that are now going to go out and do a motovlog makeup video. Now that we've talked about that, there's 3 or 4 people that are doing that. So
and I get where Colin's talking about. A lot of times you go out and you do a motovlog. I know Road Glide Andy, they, and like Bob, obviously, you just mostly every time they go out and eat somewhere, right? So maybe you can talk about the restaurant you're going to. Is it a biker friendly restaurant? Adam Sandoval just started doing that with his new website, motor gatherers or something.com or whatever it is. But so when you travel, is it a biker friendly place? I don't know, but yeah, I didn't know there was a trending site that would be kind of scripted, I guess.
Time for you to go to bed, Colin?
I set the alarm, I guess, to wake up because I was taking a nap earlier, but I'm glad I woke up early because I set it an hour late.
Is that your 6:30 alarm to go to bed?
That is my 6:30 alarm to wake up from my nap.
Wake up. All right, so here's a really hard one. These two guys taught me this. Many of you may or may not know. I actually was sitting one night looking at my analytics, started having crushing chest pain. I actually went to the hospital for a heart attack.
Oh, stop.
I spent the night in the hospital.
Shut up.
Stop it. Yeah,
I am not shitting you. I am not shitting you.
Yes,
and
you are.
I did. I spent it. I'll send you the pictures after we're done with this show. So I spent the night in the hospital, and because you get so wrapped up, and Bob's right, it's not about the money until you're making the money. Then it's all about the money. You're trying to get more and more and more, like Bob says. If you can make your motorcycle payment with it, that's very, very important. But these guys taught me analytics, and I didn't know anything about it before I met them. So let's talk about analytics. What is the most important aspect when a new YouTuber is reading analytics? And Bob, you said something before about a click-through rate. I don't even know what that means.
CTR.
CGR. I don't know what that means.
I don't get. I was going to say I don't get too whacked about it, analytics, but Jack, I look at them all the time, right?
I know every day.
I honestly look at them only for trends. I'm not looking honestly at click-through rate. The only thing that matters to me are views, and that I'm liking what I'm doing and I'm being myself. If I'm looking at analytics, I just want to know how many views the video got to see it. Is that hitting home? Not how much, did I make $8 off it? It's more of, is that hitting home and do I need to change something? But don't get too whacked out in views or you may have a heart attack. I just don't do that anymore because at the end of the day, it's not that important. There's a lot of shit going on in our lives and in the world that are more important on, did I get 3 subs today or 5 subs today, or did I lose 2 subs today? I don't know.
Good.
I hate to, we're going to both crap on this question because I'm almost identical to what Bob just said. I think at one time I started getting into it a little bit. I think we all look at the views, and then I always look at, it's hard to notch down a time, so a lot of people have a certain time. So I always look at like the times most of your subscribers watch. So, where I played with Fridays before, I've done Saturdays, I've tried Sundays. I know a couple of you both do 2 a week. I'm usually 1, but I'm probably going to go to 2 here in a little bit. But I look at that a lot, like what, and then I also look at watch time, because if your watch time, if you have somebody clicking on and watching for, I mean, I know it's you'll get an average, but if your average is super low, what's the point if someone's clicking on and getting off in the first minute?
Look at Moose. Look at Moose. He's got a whole different strategy. I like it. Hey, Colin, you know what? You're right. If you look at Jack about 3 up NVA rider, I think he's talking about what you're talking about, Colin.
Yeah.
But
It's.
Let me ask you this: does that matter less to you after you were monetized?
Well, it matters because I care that people are watching it. And I get it that if somebody goes on and comments and hits the video, it's going to screw it up. It's the law of averages. So like, someone might jump on, something go happen with their phone, that goes against you. If they watch it for 10 seconds and then they get off. So it's hard. But overall, I just look at it saying, hey, if you're getting 50% watch through or, watch time, that's pretty damn good. That's actually high in YouTube if you're getting 50 to 60. And honestly, a good rule of thumb that I've found, and I don't know if you agree with this, Bob, once you get above 50-60%, YouTube is very happy about that. So when they see that, they promote your video a lot more if you have a higher watch time than someone with like a 10% watch time. I don't know if you guys have caught that or not.
Yes.
Yeah, and Colin, it's actually a couple things. I've been fortunate, other than this last one I put out, the last 3 have got picked up quick. Actually, it got picked up after 24 hours, which is a little odd.
Mine did today.
Yeah.
And I've done 1,000 views in just in 8 hours because it got picked up today.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
I think there's 2 things. One is, and they say this is the case, and I didn't ever realize this, the more of your subs that get to your video quickly, that's one of the triggers to the algorithm.
Mm-hmm.
It just is. And no matter what anybody says, that first hour, that first 2 hours matters a lot. It just does.
It does, but it happened to both of us where after 24 hours, something like, boom, something clicked. Yeah, so it's bizarre how it works, man.
And that's why we love our Australian friends and everybody else that's not in the U.S.
They're watching an hour later.
They're watching it while we're sleeping, and I'm like, look, I get up and I'm like, oh man, all my Australian friends must have watched, right? So, there was a comment just, Jack, if I can, it was from Harley Throttle Juice. If you have a lot of views, yet people leave shortly after, then I think he was trying to say it's not worth it. And Jack, you and I have had this conversation before, right? Whether it was your title has to be right and your thumbnail has to be right. By the way, you can get, I hate to say this, you can get on it and go crap, make that video. And you will have, and if you get a good thumbnail and name it right, you're going to have 1,000 people can watch it.
Yep.
Now, they're never going to stay. But Jack, one of the things I know that you've changed is if people don't click on the video, they don't get to know HDR. And when they get in and watch your video and they get to know HDR, that's why, in my opinion, they stay. And that's why, to me, you're always the godfather of motovlogs.
Yeah. My channel's not showing that. I'd be at like 50,000 subs right now if that's the truth. But anyway, I mean, I showed you guys my list today. I run 12 YouTube channels. So 4 of those currently very active. So I'm pretty busy with comments. So if I don't comment back to somebody, don't be like HDR sucks. I'm just doing the other 4 channels. So, but anyway, I did notice, Bob, when you said that about the iron, when you told me that before, guys, what you can do is if you put your video up and it has 12 views after the first hour, go in to canva.com and change your thumbnail. Make it different. Here's what you don't want to do. I tried this before. Do not put a woman in a bikini washing a motorcycle on the front of your on your thumbnail if you don't have a woman in your video washing your motorcycle, because people are not going to view it.
Clickbait.
Yeah, and you guys said view times. View times are very important because who wants a bunch of people watching my video for 3 seconds because they clicked and be like, that's not what he was talking about.
You know what? When you look at this is just my take. When you look at the 50%, it's not that a lot of people haven't watched it. I think a lot of people have watched it. It's evening out those people that look at it quickly and go, this isn't for me, so they back off. Right. Yeah. So I believe 50% in my mind means that 40% of the people watched the whole video and 40% of the people just didn't stay.
Which is, I mean, even if you, I mean,
That makes sense.
Most times when you hear 40% in business, it sucks. But YouTube, that's actually very, very good.
I know when I did that 5 reasons to buy a Road Glide, and I went to bed that night, like Bob said one time. I went to bed, it had like, I don't know, 350 views. I woke up, it had 4,000. Because it got picked up somewhere, right? It got hit. And you try to figure out what is that keyword you got to put in there to always make it hit. And there's no magic. Robin was right.
Well, I think what Bob, you said, I mean, I know this is coming up. It's title and thumb.
Yeah. You know, Jack, my top video has, I don't know, 60,000 subs or 60,000 views. And I know you guys have videos bigger than that. It is when I had my ultra limited. And it was a picture of my ultra limited, amount of water behind it. It said top 3 modifications. I get 3,000 views a week on that video. Right. So to me, in my mind, it goes, what do I need to do replicate that in some way, right?
And who did we have on before? Was that Veteran Biker? Was that who we had on? And he talked about that. As you get more and more into it, you have one video that does 20,000 views. The next video, you expect it to do 20,000 views. And you're like, okay, it did 1,000. And why? You know, what happened to it? You know, do people seriously hate me today? You know, maybe. So, and
I like you some days better than the other, to be honest with you, but I don't hate you ever.
But it's those analytics that actually worked me up so bad that night that put you in the hospital. So don't do it. Don't just drink more beer, get hammered up, and be like, screw the analytics.
Jack.
Right? Screw it.
Jack.
Stop.
Did it stop? Did it really?
I told you guys I was in the hospital.
I know, but it had to be something else, dude. It can't be that.
No, it was ask Mary.
Dude, you should run some other test. I think something else.
Because she told me that night, you're officially done with YouTube. You don't.
Well, you know what makes me sad is because when we were on vacation in Tennessee, you and I were sitting on the couch while Colin was putting on makeup with the girls. Boy, if I could, I got a picture of that, guys. So I'll show you that at some point. And you and I were sitting there, and we were looking. I happen to have a really good month, and we were looking at analytics, and you're like, "Holy shit!" And then you're like, and by the way, I've never done that before again. And then next thing I know, you're like, hey, I had like a heart attack as I look at those analytics. So now that you're saying that is actually true, I actually feel a little bit bad. Yeah,
that is very, very true.
So I just don't talk to you about it.
Another thing I could tell you guys out there, if you're creating a channel, one thing never to do, don't ever compare your channel with anybody's, right? Yeah. If Road Glide Andy talks about changing his brake pads and gets 12 million views, and I do a video changing my brake pads and I get 6, that's probably because he's just a better mechanic than I am.
Well,
I said, Road Glide Andy, I said, probably no, he actually came over and changed my brake pads. Thanks, man. I truly appreciate that. Hey, by the way, we got to do the back. They're squeaking like hell, and I hate it.
Yeah. Andy, why didn't you change those while you're there, man? Come on.
He did. You know what? We pulled the back off, and it was still like, even Henry goes, oh, man, a lot of brake on there. Don't change that. You know, that's the way Henry talks. I'm like, okay, it looks good. Put it back.
But you had the pads.
We got the new pads. We should just change them.
And you had them off. How much were the pads?
The pads are like $31 a set.
Yeah.
So I bought 3 sets, right, for all three calipers. And but and they did look good. But Sinister Clutch did a video that said Harley Davidson pads will eventually squeak. That's just the way they make them.
Road Glide Andy is coming over after the show. He said, please have a burger ready for me, and he'll change the pads.
All right. So I have to run down McDonald's and grab that burger.
Hey, Jack, throw up it's a good point with Toby. I mean, majority, if you want to, it's 641.
Hold on.
He's got a good point. And we all know this. Basically, he's saying we've got a niche field. And we do. There's.
Oh, I know, man. Check out the fishing videos. Every YouTuber that does fishing, 200,000 views, 300,000 views, 40,000 views. And Mary says that everybody fishes. Not everybody has a motorcycle, right? Yep. So
I have a fish tank. Does that count?
And that's why I won't do samurai sword videos, because not everybody has samurai swords. I got a couple, but not everybody does.
I have fish. I have a boon of fish that are really
you have goldfish?
No, I have a really huge fish tank with Mabuna fish in them that are really cool. Does that count?
Mr. G, 1965 is here. We'll all be seeing him very soon.
There he is.
What else did you say? There's gears and
Like, Bri, dude, something's wrong with you. I talk about my nice fish, and you're like, I like fish sticks.
No, wait. Okay.
That's
Toby.
not right.
Toby has a very good point. I got to sell my Harley and buy a truck because Gears and Gadgets says truck content does much better because there's more people that own trucks, right?
He's gonna have a heart attack with all the crap's going on with his truck, bud.
Lemon law.
He
All right, next, Jack. What's the next question?
He just needs to get a new frame. We talk to people all the time about what brings new viewers to your channel. What would you tell a content creator to spend the most time on when posting a new video? So this is outside the edit. The editing is done. It looks amazing. It looks like a Itchy Boots documentary. It's wonderful. What are they going to do now with that video? Just throw it up and go. Just throw it up and go. My beautiful video, and put a picture of their bike up.
Well, first, I mean, if you're asking, if you're asking, like, would you spend more time doing a thumbnail and title versus a video first? So the answer, in my opinion, is you want to have a great thumb. I think we've all talked about that. Don't you have a question specifically around that coming up or no?
I think I do.
Because if not, we can go into the thumb stuff. But honestly, and Bob does this just, you want to basically cinch people in the first like 10, 15 seconds of your intro. If you want to talk for 20 minutes about something else and say, okay, by the way, now I'm doing this, now I'm going to talk about it, you'll lose a lot of people. So that's my best advice. Usually in your first 15, 20 seconds, talk about what you're doing in that video. And second is, if you have an intro, please keep it under 6 seconds, 6 to 7 seconds. I've seen people that have still 20, 25-second intros. I wouldn't recommend that. So just short and sweet and to the point. That's a couple things that I would talk about. I mean, there's others. Bob, what do you have?
Yeah, you know what? I agree with you on the intros. I think I try not to make mine more than 10 seconds. And Jack, I know you're going to ask this question. I almost put every intro that I have on Instagram in stories or some way.
Yeah.
And because I can only do that for a maximum of a minute, right? I want to run my intro that's 11 seconds and talk about what's in the video in under 60 seconds. So people can make a decision if they're going to stay or not. Now, again, that's why I'm telling everybody, don't get butthurt about some things we say. It's just our opinion. It's my opinion. If you start off by talking into the camera, you are not getting to the point of the video, and people are going to make a decision if they stay or not.
But you could be introducing the video. Today I'm going to go out and I'm riding my Sportster S. I'm going to do some wheelies. Thanks. This is Ty from Tennessee.
Right.
So you can introduce it, right?
Yeah, I agree, in just different styles. So if I think about that example, I would rather see Ty throwing his leg over the bike saying, "This is Ty from Tennessee, and I'm going to talk about my Sportster today," and he takes off, rather than cool. Ty looking at himself going, "I'm going to talk to you about it's just my take." Thumbnails are good to have your picture in, right? It's just my take, right or wrong. It works for Jack. I think it works for you.
I found out my thumbnails. I got a face for radio. I should not present myself on my thumbnails. That's a reason not to click it. They're like, look at that old shithead, and they don't watch it. They're just, so I just do the bake, and I think it's a better idea. But people want those young, sexy guys, right? That's why you say like that. You say, yeah, like Ty from Tennessee. Mary said, man, he's an amazing looking guy. Now that he got his hair cut, and I'm like, that wasn't very nice. She goes, no, he looks really, really nice.
You know what the problem is? The last time we saw Ty, he had like the really cool, like Bobby's on, a California look. I'm like, dude, I wish I had that much hair. And now he cut it. And he looks all corporate and shit.
I know. But now he looks like it's Ty from Tennessee.
Ty's last video on riding the dragon was,
that was fun.
For me, that was an awesome video because he took it. He gave, the video, the coverage was good. He tied it to the Sportster. He took his time, man. It was just a great video. And Ty is going to be so huge that we're going to be having a channel we're going to have a show talking about how he does it one of these days soon.
And we get a ride with him soon.
I can't wait for that.
Can't wait, man.
Well,
another thing on this, guys, and once you do this more, your workflow is going to get a lot better with editing. I think Paul, I believe it was you, asked a minute ago, what's the best way of learning editing? And everybody's different. And honestly, besides watching YouTube videos, that's how I learned. And then I just played around with it. I mean, all editing programs are essentially they're very similar. They are. Some might have a couple more features than the others, but they all do the exact same thing. They do transitions, they do cuts, they edit, and all this stuff. Having a good edit, my recommendation, if you guys, and again, similar to what Bob was saying a second ago, like what his little peeves are on things or things that he recommends, I recommend not dead air. So if you're making a video and it's don't be talking and all of a sudden just writing for 15 seconds. Cut it out,
or put music in it
behind it. Dead airs. That's people are going to click that off real quick.
And if you put music on it, equalize the music with your audio.
Oh my God, Jack! Yeah. I want to answer NVAs if you don't mind, but I'm the same way. I hate to say this, unless you're one of our friends, if I watch your video and it goes into music or something from your voice, and I have to adjust the volume, we're breaking up. We just are. Right.
And I actually call people. So I called Road Glide Andy. He did that once. And I told you, Bob, Miss HR was running in from the kitchen going, why is it so loud? And I had to turn it down. Then he starts talking. Then you have to turn it back up again. I was like, this sucks. And now he said, and think about this. You guys know commercial business a lot. You're both business guys. They tell you that during a football game, they raise the commercials by 25 dB. And the reason they do that is because everybody's going to get snacks. So Anthony said, well, if I raise the music, it'll grab their attention. No, I said, they will shut you off. That's what's going to happen. Buy video, right? So,
hey, Jack, if I can I take a shot at NVA Ryder? By the way, NVA Ryder is a guy that lived close to me. It's kind of like me, Jack, and you. He lived close to me. We never rode together, and then the guy moved away. I just think it's because he didn't like me personally. But I think that the intro of your channel, which Colin, you just talked about, mine is 11 seconds. It shows my bike, and then my logo. That's it. As long as you tie in what the video is about somehow in that, I think it's a good thing.
Now, wait a minute. Because I know, Bob, you have an intro for every video, not that part. I think he's talking about like you're riding your bike, and you have the things flashing up now, Duke and Princess and that stuff.
Yeah.
Does that add any value to your video? Other than before you said it looks more polished. I get that.
He said Princess.
Yeah. So does it bring any more subs?
I think it just helps brand. And I think brand's important. But to me, so if 50% of the people are subs that watch my channel, they know the name of my bike. So they probably go, and it's quick. So hopefully it doesn't bother them. If it's somebody new, I hope now all of a sudden they're going, oh, dude's got two bikes, or he's got this type of bike or this type of bike. So NVA, as long as it's quick, man, I think it's fine. But man, try it. Try different styles. Try it with doing it, and then try it with not. But I think you got to show value in that first 10 or 20 seconds to keep people or not.
So, Toby, I think I want to clarify. I mean, I was just going to highlight that. So I want to make sure we're clear on this. I think what we're talking about, there's two intros. There's your intro to your video topic.
Right.
And then there's your intro to your channel. So if the intro to the channel, we're talking about 6 to 7 seconds, sometimes shorter. I think, Bob, you said you were 11 seconds. Intro to your video, you probably want to do in the first 30 seconds of it going once people click on it, instead of just rambling around. Even though you might have a title that says topic XYZ, you still want to talk about it right when they click. So then they stick around.
Here's something else that's been killing my videos, because I do watch analytics now. Anyway.
Your heart attack's on your own, dude. I'm off of that.
Listen, when I used the 3/4 helmets with the Senna camera with that side mount view, and you know how you can put your mouse over a video and it will give you like a little bit of the content? If they see that, I don't get as many views. If they see the chin mount one, I triple the views out.
Dude, so, I'll get 3 or 4 people every video that says, can you tell, last one was, what are your settings and what are you doing for video?
Yeah.
I get it all the time. And it's a simple, that's why I talk about be careful with telling you all these things you should do. It's a simple GoPro 7 on my chin. Is all it is.
Simple GoPro 7 and a Cena 10C.
Hey, Jack, I know
we use the same setup.
I know this hour's gone quick, But I just want to bring up one thing, if you don't mind. And by the way, this is going to get a lot of people pissed off at me. And
We
again,
this is a couple extra minutes.
This is just me. I believe in life and in YouTube, you need to earn the right for things. Colin, when we talk about work, right? You want people to be great employees before they come and ask you for a raise or before they want a promotion, right? You kind of got to earn that right. You got to earn the friendship right. There's a lot of stuff. There's a video in there somewhere. In my opinion, if you get on your video in the first 10 seconds, talk about how you should like, subscribe, and share, in my opinion, you have not shown value enough to ask that. I just wanted to say that. Probably
You're
piss off
talking
a lot of
as
people.
as a brand new creator or people in general?
Everybody. In my opinion, you need to earn the right before you do that.
Now,
if I can just finish real quick, I know there's a lot of people that tell you you need to have a call to action, right? Somehow to tell people to subscribe. Jackie and I talked about it this morning. At the end of my videos, I have the place where you can subscribe, but I'll never, maybe 1 out of every 10 videos talk about that because I think you got to earn the right to do that. I think people are making mistakes by doing that.
But myself and Bob talked about this morning, and I truly believe this. If you're a 4-year-old or if you're a very, very 100-year-old or older and you're senile, everybody knows about the damn subscribe button. Quit saying, please like and subscribe my video. Like and subscribe it, please. Unless you're going to send them money, don't do it anymore. Just you can put that little thing, even put that thing up there. Ding, subscribe. They know.
Yeah, I think we all do that.
I do it at times.
I put like a little ding through the video, but I don't think now I started thinking about it. I rarely do that. Please like and subscribe.
What you should do is get off your bike and do this. Please subscribe to my videos. Please, because I need subscription.
Hey, Jackie,
come on, quit begging people.
I mean, but the thing is, dude, I mean, you can't. Bob, I get it, but everyone's different too. I mean, if people want to try that and it works for them, let them try it.
Yeah, but somebody on here said earlier in the chat, if you make good content, they will come. Remember the Field of
Absolutely.
Dreams?
They
if you
will,
build it, they will come. You don't have to beg. You don't.
You're not begging. It's human behavior.
Yeah, and you know what?
I mean, we know this, and I'm not fighting you, Bob, on this. I completely agree with you. That's the call to action. You get people that say, if you put something in people's heads, hey, make sure you hit that like button.
So let me rephrase. A call to action I don't disagree with. Just make it when you've earned the right.
That's fair.
At the end of the video, or maybe the quick little ding that we sometimes will do, right? Because that'll get people's attention. Or at the end of the video, subscribe. But the starting off of that, every time somebody does that, I just go, you haven't earned the right for that yet. Now, Jack, you're right. People should know how to do it. But there is something to be said for call to action. The problem is every YouTube creator that makes you better will tell you got to have call to action. All I suggest is you either don't do it or you do it late.
And I'm just saying if I watch somebody's video and I love your shit, I cannot wait to hit that subscribe button because I want to see what else you're putting out. Like when Ty started making content, I'm like, when he did that podcast in the Harley shop, I'm like, I got to know what else he's doing. So I want to know. So that's what I mean is I think people know.
Do you see that? Did you see that, Colin? he does Blue Bike Girl normally when we're out of beer.
Oh, when we're out of beer. What was that one? I missed it.
You should go beyond that one, but I don't know. Just my take, and again, it's probably not real popular. I just think
but everybody does it. Everybody says, please subscribe and like my video.
Because all the channels on how to get better tell you to have a call to action. All I'm saying is earn the right to get that call to action before you ask for it.
My call to action for everybody that subs will give you $1,000. That's a call to action, right?
I do it again. I don't disagree with you because I don't know.
I think you have to agree to disagree. I don't know what's right
psychology.
And what's wrong.
That's why they do it.
I don't know what's right and what's wrong. I mean, there's a guy that sits, down in one of our malls here with a can with it says, throw money in here. Does he want subs? I don't know. He wants to throw money in here.
Jack, I think that your point is good. Is do it a couple different ways.
Yeah, see what works.
See what works for you, right?
Yeah, do what
Bob's not always right. That's for damn sure. But I'll tell you what.
Before we go, can we just? I know the hour's coming up, Jack. We've talked about this throughout the show, guys, and forgive me, Jack, if this is a specific question that you had planned. What do you guys use for thumbs? I know we all three use the exact same thing. We talk about thumbnails, and I just switched over in the past like 3 months to using this as Canva.
Yeah, I use Canva.
Canva is badass. And you can get, what's it, Canva Pro, Bob? It's not that much.
Like $10 a month, something like that.
No, I think it's not even that. I mean, it's cheap. Well worth it. I mean, because you can do so much with that program that blows away my editing program. So once I started using that, it's really helped. And with thumbs, and Bob and I have talked about this, and Jack, less is better. So when you're doing a thumb, don't put like very wordy thumbs, to the point. You agree with that, Bob?
Yeah. And you've already said what the video is about is in your description. You don't need to re-put that in your thumb. Jack, you used to always say, sometimes I'll have a thumb that just goes, ouch.
Yeah,
right?
Mary looks at your thumbs and she's like, what the hell is he talking about? And I said, he's talking about he hurt his finger when he's getting on the bike. He got caught in the clutch lever and he went, ouch.
You're tying the thumb message to the title, right?
You can.
Colin, I'll tell you what the other thing is. You don't always have to use a picture of your bike, or you don't have to use a still of your ride.
Yeah.
Go on to Google and hit
go to
picture in the mountains. And
go to Google Images.
And you may get a beautiful, and there's a couple sites you can go get motorcycle pictures. Doesn't have to necessarily be stuff from yours.
No.
And then the last thing, again, this is just some advice that I know all three of us do. Title searchable.
And that'll drive you crazy
your
too.
Title searchable. Like think of what you would type in.
There was one day, Bob told me that, and there was one day Mary called me. She goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm posting videos." She said, "I thought you said you posted that 2 hours ago." I said, "I did," but Bob told me I have to keep running these titles through this. What's it called? Hubba Bubba or something, YouTube Buddy or some shit, and I got to keep running my titles through until it comes up 150%. Then I can post my video, and that kind of stuff, guys. It makes YouTube not worth it. Just post it, put it up there, and call it Andy's Great Ride. Who cares, right?
If you want subs, you need to care, honestly.
Yeah, but it's not. The thing is, Bob, that's what put me in the hospital. It's just not worth the aggravation of doing all the shit. I got to title it. I got to put it on Instagram. I got to put it on Facebook. I got it for $8. You know,
and Jack,
$8. I mean, that's a roll of toilet paper. You can wipe your ass. $8.
Jack, I don't disagree with you. I think it's important for us all to realize, why do we do this?
Yeah,
right?
Why do we do it? Right? I don't know.
So some of us are competitive, right? So we want to do good because we're competitive, not because we're going to make $40 to fill our gas tank up on YouTube money, right? That's not what it's about. I think the first thing for new YouTubers is, why am I doing this? Am I doing it for a hobby? Am I going to get wrecked doing this? But if you, and Jackie and I told us, I still believe the thumbnail and title are so important because people don't get to know you. And I think Judy made a comment about be yourself. They can't see you be yourself unless they click on your video. And that's, in my opinion, when they fall in love with you. So
yeah, and I wanted to ask you earlier too, is there any analytics that says when you post that video on Instagram, I know you do all yours, does that bring you more views?
Yes, and I also think, Jack, it is a part of branding. I think YouTube is a part of it. I think Instagram is a part of it. We could do a whole.
That's another whole hour.
We could do a whole hour on my view on how you use Instagram. We're not
right,
but I think it's all about branding and getting in the right groups.
And it was so much easier when I started YouTube in 2005, dude. You posted a video and there was nobody out there doing it. You know what I mean? And now it's like mainstream TV. It's like, what channel do I want to watch? Do I want to watch everything on 2 or everything on 4? They're both got the same kind of stuff, you know? So it is hard. And Bob, and I think that's what's wrong with me, Bob. I'm not competitive. You know, I mean, if the channel does well, fine. If it doesn't, fine. You know, I'll take my $20 a month and whatever, you know?
Dude, if it really gave you a heart attack, you need to stop worrying about that. Honestly, since you've said that, since I didn't know if you were serious or not, I've just started stop talking to you about that, because that doesn't help you, right? For somebody else, Colin, you're the perfect example, right? the other day, you and I were talking like, hey, dude, when you're on with Donna, you got to make sure that your center is turned up all the way because she's a little low. And I remembered having to go in and edit her voice. And I'm like, shit, I forgot about that. Thanks, Colin. Right? I think those things kind of help. I think we got to help each other.
Here's the thing that when Mary turns her set up all the way, I get echo because my voice is feeding back into her microphone somehow. It's crazy.
You may be set up wrong. I will tell you this: if you're riding with Colin and you're doing that and it's all the way turned up and you're done talking, remind him to turn it down because then he will turn on his radio really loud and then you will go see the ear.
We have sang together many times. We have sang together many times. All right, guys. I had probably another 20 questions around this topic because it's so important. And it drives me absolutely, I would say BSC, bullshit crazy, that I got to spend 14 hours to post a 15-minute video to get some views on it. So, and that's the truth. You do. I got to make it searchable. I got to make a perfect thumbnail. It is the truth. You got to spend hours and hours and hours, right? And I do this stuff. And
dude, I want to look. We got to.
We're gonna help you.
We're gonna help you because that's not right. If
Jack,
people are doing that much,
I talked to Bob one day and he said he spent 5 hours trying to post a video.
No, never. I did 2 videos today. So I did the video and I thought about it at lunch. So let's count that for 5 minutes. The video was 10 minutes. It will take me an hour maybe to put it all together, to edit it, get the title right, maybe an hour and a half. 2 hours is posted max.
Jack, and it depends on the video too. Most of the things we do are an hour to 2 hours. I mean, we've been doing this for a little bit, so it's a lot easier our workflow.
Dude, I've been doing this since 2005, before you were born. Okay. Now think about this. Guys. So it's just, and if anybody shoots a 10-minute video and takes you an hour to edit, you're not a very good editor. Just let me throw that out there. It takes me 10 minutes to edit a 10-minute video. You cut off the beginning and the end, and you save it. Well, you put your intro in there. I get that, but it shouldn't take an hour to edit a 10-minute video. There's no way. I don't know how that's possible. But anyway.
Well, hey, when we're all on vacation together riding, we're going to have a lot to drink, and we're going to talk about that.
Yeah, we're going to discuss it.
And not on a live stream.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight. Like I said, this topic can go on for weeks, months, and days. The main thing I can tell you is from my own experience, it's your YouTube channel. Post whatever you want to post. You can make a thumbnail, with paint, with the paint program if you wish. That's fine. So don't be competitive. Don't compare your channel to somebody else's because it's going to land you in the hospital with a heart attack, and then you got hospital bills. I have good insurance, but
Jack, you're right. Do what you want.
Do what you want.
And again, take snippets of what people say, not everything they do, right? Just take snippets and go, I want to apply that to my style. And that's kind of what I do a lot. I watch a lot of good YouTubers, including both you guys and people here, and I'll take a little snippet going. Ty is an example. When I watched his video a couple days ago, he did something that I want to try on one of my videos, right? So take a snippet, don't let it bother you that much, and know why you're doing this.
Right.
No, I completely agree, and I think it was a healthy discussion, and we might have some disagreements here and there with the way we do things, but at the end of the day, we're all friends. We all ride. We enjoy doing this as a hobby, and we just want to help out others in the community for people that have questions. We're not super experts, but we're people that have done it and get it, and all have some insight into helping each other. So thank you very much, Jack, for having this tonight, and we appreciate it. Thanks everybody in the side chat. We truly appreciate you guys week in, week out. Now let's talk about, before we get off, can we talk a little bit about our get together again?
We're out of time. We're out of time. No, we're out of time. No, go ahead.
Folks, you missed it. We are on the 15th of June going to be at the Finks Harley Davidson in Zanesville, Ohio from 4 to 6. And then we're going to go down the road to a little pizza place that Jack and I was in, and maybe have some pizza and beer, or pizza and pop, or pizza and water.
Pizza and whiskey.
And if you're coming, we'd love to have you. Let us know. We're starting to get a bunch of people that are going to come down. It is not a ride. It is more of a kind of a meetup and a dinner type thing, and maybe that's down the road for us. So we look forward to it. And Jack will sign your shoulder, your arm, whatever you want. So
T-shirts
and your
T-shirts.
ass.
There was a girl that came up to a motorcycle show me and Bob was at, and Miss HR was with me. She handed me my marker, and she pulled her shirt, and Miss HR said, "Don't even think about it, Bob." So I handed the marker back. So I don't know what she wanted, a tattoo maybe. But on a more serious note, have a safe Memorial Day. Make sure everybody out there.
I can't believe we need to say that.
Make sure everybody out there thinks about their servicemen and women that are currently in, and all those that gave the ultimate sacrifice for this country, so we can ride.
Jack, thank you.
Appreciate
Amen.
You're very
brother.
welcome.
Jack,
Amen.
I appreciate you and everybody in here that we can't thank you enough, guys. Can't thank you enough for that.
All right, then we will talk to you. Well, I'll talk to you Saturday morning, Coffee with HDR, show number 75. See you there.
The man's on fire. Good night, everybody.
Check on a friend.